Good morning. It's Friday, April 17th. I have two updates for today to discuss. My name is Alden Pearson. I'm an attorney. I'm licensed in Minnesota and Wisconsin. I do primarily construction law, and that's what I'm going to focus on today. What I'm going to talk about is the President's Opening Up America again, and the updated emergency order in Wisconsin for what Wisconsin calls safer at home. Starting with the President's Opening Up America again, these guidelines really have no force of law. That's based on our U.S. Constitution and the principle of federalism as codified in the 10th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. So basically, appeals to the President or to Congress are not the place to be for those who are not happy with what is going on with the various stay-at-home orders around the country. The place for them to be addressed are at the state and local levels and the legislatures of the various states. But the Opening Up America guidelines are useful guidelines to help with discussing these issues with the local and state officials. Now, moving on to the emergency order number 28, which is the updated safer at home order for Wisconsin. As for construction, it does several things. First off, the order goes into effect on April 24th at 8 a.m. and it stays in effect until May 26th at 8 a.m. The prior order is then superseded as of April 24th, but stays in place until April 24th. Both orders, by the way, are on my website, www.aldenpearson.com, under my COVID-19 resources. As far as construction goes, it remains an essential business under the existing and the new order that goes into place on April 24th. So construction may continue as an essential business. The business has to continue with the social distancing, with only necessary people at job sites, with people working from home as possible, following social distancing, following the hand washing, and all the requirements or the activities that we're supposed to and we're all familiar with now do to try to prevent getting COVID-19. Aesthetic construction, I call it cosmetic. The order again calls it aesthetic construction, is still prohibited. However, there is an exception carve-out in the order. And the exception carve-out, unfortunately, is unclear. I'm going to read it. The exception carve-out says as follows: aesthetic or optional exterior work. Minimum basic operations may include aesthetic or optional exterior residential construction and lawn care. And here's where it's unclear. If all the operations are performed by one person in a room or confined space, including a car or a truck. Now, I don't know how you're going to do exterior residential construction operations in a confined space in one room or a truck. So that's where it's unclear. But it does carve them out such that it be. It also says no more than one employee or worker may be on site at a time. Services may not require a signature by the recipient. Aesthetic or optional exterior work requiring more than one person on site are prohibited. So they attempted to clarify the aesthetic construction prohibition, but I think they made it more confusing. The businesses that are continue to be non-essential or deemed non-essential, not that the businesses think they're non-essential, every business to everybody is essential. They can apply for an essential designation. That doesn't mean you're going to get one, but the application is an online, and it can be done by going to www.wedc.org/non-essential business, and then apply and indicate why you think that your business should be reclassified and designated as an essential business. When I say your business, I'm talking about your industry, the type of work that you perform. Finally, the order is now explicit that it prohibits door-to-door solicitation. So for my exterior contractor clients out there, for exterior construction industry, what sometimes people call storm chasers, when we have the hailstorms and the windstorms that come around this time of year, door-to-door solicitations are now prohibited by the order. Before, it was sort of unclear, but I had advised against it. But at this point now, the order says no door-to-door solicitations. So these documents, as well as other COVID-19 resources, are on my website, www.aldenpearson.com, under my COVID-19 resources. And as further information comes available, I will continue to do these updates. As a closing matter, because there is a coalition now of Midwest states, including Wisconsin and Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, some other states, and Wisconsin has gone forward and extended its emergency order for an additional month. I do expect that Minnesota will follow. It has not followed yet, but if Minnesota follows along these lines and the other states follow along these lines, then we're going to continue to have these restrictions in place in those states. So for those that are not happy with these extensions of restrictions, or not happy with the restrictions, again, the place to present that is at the state and local level.